Hi everyone, it's Lisa with InkandInspirations.com. Thank you for joining me and welcome to the first in a series of Stampin' Up! Christmas cards for 2015. And for this particular card, we're going to be using this little nutcracker image from the Sparkly Season set, lovely little snow globes. And so I'm starting with a base of real red cardstock. I started with 5.5 by 8.5 and then folded it and gave it a good crisp crease. Then I have a 4 by 5.25 piece of the Merry Moments Designer Series paper. This paper stack is in, well, it's not the stack, it's actually the 12 by 12, and it's in the annual catalog from Stampin' Up! And I'm just going to use this on the card front for a diagonal stripe. Okay? Then you're also going to need a piece of Whisper White cardstock. And this measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. And we're going to back that with a piece of Old Olive cardstock, and that's measured at 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to wait to mount that for just a minute. I want to go ahead and do some stamping. And so I have the little snow globe here mounted on a clear block, and I'm going to use the basic black archival ink. I'm going to ink that up really well and get my Stampin' Pierce mat to go underneath. It's good to use this foam mat when you're using photopolymer since it doesn't have the cushion that our red rubber stamps do. It gives it a little more give. Okay, so I'm going to just come basically to the center towards the top. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch or so up here. And I'm just going to stamp. Okay, and then I want to go ahead and put the little nutcracker and its gifts on the interior of the snow globe. I'm using this archival ink because I'm going to be doing some coloring with my Stampin' Right markers. And this will be a permanent ink there, and the color won't smear. Okay, so now I want to do the globe base. So I'm going to take some smoky slate ink and ink that up. Center it beneath the snow globe and give it a good press. Okay, so now I can put that ink aside and use some of my markers to color. So I'm going to start with real red and color most of the nutcracker in red. And you can see I'm just very quickly doing coloring book coloring where you're just filling in. I'm not worried about any shadows or shading right now. I just want some bold, vibrant color and to make this card easily and as quickly as possible. And I say that because, you know, when you're making Christmas cards, usually you're making more than one of each. And of course, this is something you could do in the evenings, stamp all your images and then color while you're watching TV or listening to holiday music, perhaps. And I'm just going to add some red where I need it, just like that. Okay, so next I want to use smoky slate and do his shoes. And then I'm going to take my Old Olive marker and do some accents on the gifts and color the holly leaves. Just really quick. And when I don't know about you all, but when I make Christmas cards, I, usually find a design that I like and that I can mass produce quickly and do quite a few of those. But sometimes on these that have a little bit more detail, I'll do these for like family or friends or my daughters love to receive a card from you. Now I'm using Pool Party ink here. Okay, and then next I want to get a little bit more red on his hat, I think. I'm going to leave a few of those white accents there. And now for his skin, I don't want to leave it white, but I tried coloring with this Blushing Bride on my sample, and it was, oh, he looked like he had spent a little bit too much time in the tanning bed. I just want to give his face a little bit of color, and maybe his hands here. So I'm taking a blender pen, and I'm just brushing it there on my tip of my felt Blushing Bride marker, and going to go with that. And I'm going to leave his legs alone because I'm going to assume he has stockings on, or socks. Okay, so now we want to let that get really good and dry. And I'm going to take my embossing buddy and run it over the whole thing because I'm going to do some embossing. I want the little snow that I'm going to put inside the globe. I want to emboss that with iridescent ice embossing powder. It's going to give it a sparkle. And so I've inked up those dots. I'm going to press there. Powder, you don't want to overheat it, so you want to let your heat tool heat up before you apply it. Cause you want it to stay sparkly, and if you overheat, the sparkle will kind of dull a bit. But I can see it melting. I don't know if you can see it in the light there, but I'm just setting it just enough to get it set so it looks like snow within the snow globe. Okay, so now let's go ahead and mount this on our old olive cardstock. Use a little bit of adhesive. And be sure and visit my blog where this will be posted with the video along with some of the project details. Okay, I'm going to take one of these enamel dots in red and apply it right here. And then I'm going to take this sentiment that says, "May your season sparkle," and ink that up in real red ink. And apply that just here below. And then we can go ahead and attach it to the card base. And the card will be ready to go. And usually I will finish off my cards by applying a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White cardstock so that I can write my greeting. Okay, so there's our first Christmas project. Be sure and visit on my blog at inkandinspirations.com. If you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.